Good morning, Valley West students. Good morning, fourth graders. And I am so glad to talk with you today. This is Miss Howard, your fourth grade ELA teacher, and I am excited about our lesson today. Today, our lesson will focus on text features. Not only text features, but specifically graphs, charts, and diagrams. Some of my favorite features while reading. They always help me to understand what I'm reading. This is an anchor chart of text features, and we're going to briefly go over it to remind ourselves of some of the text features we've learned about this past school year. You will find most text features in non-fiction text, although you can find them everywhere, but they are especially prominent in non-fiction. What types of things would you see in a non-fiction text and the text features? Well, first, let's understand text features help us understand a nonfiction text. They make text interesting and fun to read. What are the different types of text features that we can find? Well, we can find a table of contents that tells us what's inside the text that we're going to read. We can often find a glossary, which helps us to define words. We can also find types of print such as bold or italic. As you can see here, each article has a bold heading detailing what the article will be about. Other text features include photographs with a caption. The caption helps us to understand the picture that we're looking at. You may also find maps, diagrams, and graphs. You can use text features when you read nonfiction. We've seen all of these types of text features in our classroom, and so this should look very familiar to you. Here's an example of a pie chart. This is a type of chart that helps us to understand what we are reading. Charts and graphs are visual representations of information that show the relationship between two or more things. Charts and graphs are quick and easy to read. Let's look at our pie chart here, for example. Although we're not quite sure what we're looking at, we can use clues to help us figure out the information that we're reading. This pie chart says elements are the building blocks of everything we see and use. Below are the elements that make Earth's crust. Although the chart is not quite labeled, we can use clues to help us understand what we're reading. It says aluminum is the smallest percentage. Well, because it's not labeled, I can still use this clue to determine which part of this pie chart is aluminum. It says it is the smallest percentage. So this section represents the aluminum element of the Earth's crust. Now we are looking at a bar chart. This is a different type of graph. It is using a bar graph to help you understand what you are reading. Now, this chart is even more helpful because as it is describing the type of fruit that has been harvested, it is also using colors to represent those fruit. Grapes are purple, oranges are orange, of course, and apples appear to be green. So I can look at this chart and tell just by looking at the colors that March is a really good time of the month for grapes. I can make that inference just by looking at this graph. So there's one question here. In what month is the most fruit harvested? Well, I can look at this chart and tell the largest chart, the tallest bar, goes all the way to 300 pounds, and that appears to be more than any other bar graph here. So I can determine that the month of March has the most fruit harvested. What do you say? Next, we have a Venn diagram. A Venn diagram, yes. This also compares and contrasts the differences of the information that is obtained. This particular diagram is showing summer hobbies. Some like to camp, some like to swim, and others like to bike. However, there are a few who enjoy doing all three. The Venn diagram can help us determine the relationship between the information in the text that we are reading. In conclusion, text features are a part of a book or an article, and this gives us more information to help us understand what we're reading. Charts and graphs are visual representations of information between two or more things, and charts and graphs help us determine relationship. We can draw conclusions and we can make inferences using charts and graphs. Diagrams, on the other hand, are very good at explaining how something may work or the relationship between parts in a visual way. I hope that you understand text features just a little bit better, especially in the aspect of charts, graphs, and diagrams. Thank you so much and have a wonderful day.